I'm Brandon Conley. I'm 36 years old. I was recently diagnosed with bulbar onset ALS, and this was me.
Woo!
Brandon is a ball of energy, super extroverted, definitely the life of the party, and that's how I noticed him. But after getting to know him, I just realized that there was so much more to him than that. He had this really, really wise, really deep side to him that I just had never experienced with anyone else, and I just wanted to be around you all the time.
It's nice, Grace.
I mean, the Brandon I knew before, I have hiked class 5 14ers with him, and our bodies just felt like we were shutting down, and he was the one to push through.
Brandon always says yes.
We've always said that if Brandon's around, your evening is going to be probably a little more ridiculous, but also a lot more fun.
Yep, gotta double tap that one too. With Sam, she was so positive and easygoing, and so as things progressed, I feel like we just really grew a deep bond, and it was predicated on, I think, a really strong friendship. I would say we are definitely best friends.
Yeah. So your symptoms started in March, April of 2020.
I started to have issues with my speech, which obviously is one of the most uncomfortable and weird feelings you can ever have when you can't talk. And then I started to have what are called fasciculations, where my muscles would twitch.
It continued to progress and get worse. I think it took over a year for you to get an ALS diagnosis, but an entire year of living with these really hard symptoms, really painful symptoms, confusing symptoms. He sat me down and said, we know what late stage ALS looks like. We know what the road looks like. And he said, you don't have to do this. I don't want you to have to do this. And I said, hell no. I'm doing it, and I'm gonna be your wife through this process.
Being such an active person, I really had to re-understand my identity. Raise your hand if you're a star. I am. Over 50% of ALS patients die within 5 years. I have dreamt of being a father and taking my kids skiing when they're 2 and 3.
You're gonna be the best dad.
You have to consider that with this disease, it might not happen.
Brandon's got so much to give and would be the best dad, and I've known that since day one. So
The fact that he's so young and has so much life to live, and to see someone so good and so pure be given this diagnosis, this illness, this curse, it's really frustrating and it seems unfair. What are you doing? But, I do hope that with this, something good comes out of it.
I do IVs twice a month. I take around 40 pills a day, but they're almost all supplements or natural. It costs, around $1,200 to $1,500 a month.
all of the supplements, the protocols that he is on, they're all recommendations because there is no treatment or cure yet. So it's a recommendation that he takes B12 shots every day that are hundreds of dollars, that he's on 40 other supplements that he takes every day, and that's all out of pocket for us if he wants to continue using them.
Yeah, late stage ALS runs about $100,000 a year, and insurance does not cover the majority of that.
I think people view ALS as like an old person's disease, and that's why Brandon and I wanted to share his story to shed some light on what the rest of the community is going through. People under 30 that have it, people under 40 who have it, like Brandon. It's hard because within that time frame, they don't have the ability to be able to tell their story or raise a lot of awareness so that people talk about ALS.
Because of the unknown, in terms of where I could be health-wise in 2 months, 6 months, a year, you really wake up every day and try to be present and thankful for that day.
There's certainly an element of Brandon where he's more loving. He's not scared to tell us that he loves us.
It's like every day he has to like choose to be hopeful and choose to keep going. But he's done a really good job.
The more months that go by, the more years that go by without a cure, without a treatment, without advocates, without money behind it, the worse he will get. There's no question about that. And so we need to do something.
We are doing our own fundraising. We've actually been advised by other organizations that because there is not insurance for a lot of the equipment and the healthcare needs, that you have to raise your own funds.
As somebody who my whole life has really invested in trying to perform and give back to others, asking for help is not in my comfort zone. However, with this disease and the financial burden that comes along with it, we're asking for small donations to fight this battle in the hopes that we can battle long enough until a cure is found.
You can contribute to Conley's cause through GoFundMe and following the link below. Thank you all so much for all your support. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.